Your Facebook ads will perform way better if you're targeting the correct people and you're speaking to them in an appropriate manner via your marketing messaging. Now, you may have created your product because you are the actual customer, but definitely don't overlook the process of spending the time and mapping out who the avatars are for two reasons. One, you might not be the only avatar, or you might not even be the main avatar of the product, it just fitted for you. And two, if you're going to be working with copywriters, videographers, graphic designers, or down the line even a marketing agency, putting in the time to map out who the avatars are helps them understand who it is, because they might not be in the customer base that you're selling to. So having that on a piece of paper mapped out allows them to understand, okay, this is what my assets have to look like or have to sound like to fit the correct person. And you can convey that a lot easier if you've done the exercise up front and keep everything all on the same page. Now, when I talk about creating your customer avatars, what exactly do I mean? Well, you can also call them buyer personas, but it's basically doing market research and then using a template, looking at the challenges faced by your customer, looking at the benefits your product would provide to that specific person, looking at their emotions before and after, and a couple of other things, and saying, this is who that person is, this is what they look like. So as an example, let's say I'm selling boxing gloves. One avatar might be just the general hobbyist trying to keep fit, and that's why they're doing boxing, but they're not really fighting anyone, they're not doing boxing that much, maybe they're doing it one time a week. So they're a specific avatar. And then the other person might be someone who is a massive enthusiast of boxing, they're fighting or they're professional, whatever. Those might be separate avatars, but yeah, they're trying to actually spar and fight and compete. That's a completely different avatar, and the way you're going to speak to them is going to be different. They're going to have different problems that they're facing, and they're looking for different benefits. And in fact, the actual product you're selling to those two people is probably going to be different. That's why avatars are so important, because it allows you to not just make your marketing better, it allows you to make your product development better as well. So yeah, what we're going to do today is I'm going to actually show you one of the avatars I've created for my own brand and show you the template that I like to use. It should only take you an hour to do each avatar. You don't want to go too in-depth in doing it. I have used more in-depth avatars in the past where people spend a whole week creating them, and in my experience, they don't perform better in the platform. Sure, down the line, if you've been running a business for a couple of years and you're running out of ideas and you need to do a process where you're going down and really drill down into who your avatar is to give you more inspiration, there might be a benefit there. But if you're actually just trying to run stuff in the platform, I feel you want to do more high level, broader avatars rather than trying to get too niche. And then within that, you can start getting niche with your messaging, trying different angles, different hooks, and with what works, you can then double down on. But when you start, definitely don't do too many avatars, and don't go too in depth into any one avatar. It doesn't have a benefit, you know. People's problems aren't that in depth. Okay, so yeah, let's jump on the computer and look for the example I have. And you can find the template linked in the description as well if you want to use it. Right, so this is my avatar that I've created, and I'm gonna go through all the sections in a minute, but just to give you the background, this is created for a sleep supplement product. And that's the way I like to do it. So I like to have the avatars created per product rather than creating an avatar for the business or whatever, as each product's gonna have its own avatars essentially. You might have some products that are interchangeable, and then what you can do is once you've got that overriding avatar, you can bring them in and use all the information for that same product. You can group your products into certain avatars. But yeah, I definitely like doing them per product rather than doing like one that matches the business and then doing the products next. So that's what I have here. And you can see I've given a name, the corporate professional. So some people like to name them things that are more personal, as in they're making a person out of the avatar so they can properly visualize who that person is and be familiar with it. I don't see any real benefit in doing that, so I just keep it simple rather than having to go through the creative process of trying to think of someone's name. I just relate them to what they are. So this one is a corporate professional. Of course, if I was doing a product where within the corporate professional space there was multiple avatars, let's say I had some sort of thing for people who were corporate professionals and no one else would buy it. This is someone who works in the office, that's what the product was for, let's say. Sure, I'm going to have other things that would distinguish between those avatars, but for my purposes, corporate professional is a big avatar and that's fine, I can just call it that. So that's my name. We then go into the demographics, and these 5 I would say do for every avatar as a minimum. You might have other demographics which I've not put on here that are relevant. Let's say there's something political, maybe you want to put political status if your product, relates to that. But for me anyway, these 5 are core to anything I do. I would recommend the same, and you can Google different demographics if you want to do additional ones for your product. But yeah, if you've got these, I think you're on track and you don't really need to do any more. So age demographic, 25 to 60. That helps me with the actual targeting within the ads, but also if I am doing creative and copy, I can have it so that any language speaks to that age range. Any of the stories that I'm creating in the copy also are relevant to that age range, and the people that I'm showing in photographs and videos match that kind of age range as well, okay? And then gender, male or female. For this particular product, you might have something that's just for females, you might have something that's just for males, whatever. Mine covers both, so I don't need to separate them. Of course, some of the messaging and some of the problems will differ between males and females, but it's still the same avatar. That's just like a different type of copy I'm going to test. I'm not going to split up the avatar in that instance. Like, it's too granular for me at this current stage. And then we have, for this particular avatar anyway, I might have another avatar which is purely females, where we're maybe looking more at like the menopause and things, and some of the hormone changes with that. But yeah, for this one, both fit. And then we have family status, so single, in a relationship, or married. I've put to this avatar. This might not seem that important, but it definitely comes into play when you're doing your messaging and looking at your problems that the avatar are facing. So for example, with a sleep supplement, if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to be maybe having someone in my bed who disrupts my sleep, so maybe me sleeping deeper is a benefit. Or if I'm tired and I'm having arguments with my partner, that's a kind of copy play I could play on. So I've just put them all into the one avatar. So this relates to all 3 of those people, and they would all fit inside that avatar. Again, we're not going to do 3 separate avatars for someone who's married as a corporate professional, someone who's in a relationship, and someone who's single as a corporate professional. Those are sub-avatars. The vast majority of everything on this page would relate to every single one of them, If there's a certain thing that doesn't, or a certain thing that is an addition, we can speak around that, but the overall copy, the overall images are still going to relate to who this person is, as well as Facebook trying to find that pool of people. And then we have the financial situation. The people I'm targeting, or corporate professionals, they're obviously going to have money to spend from a stable income by the very nature of being a corporate professional. That's good for my type of product because is a subscription based, so I can do things like offer them deals on if they buy like a couple months or if they subscribe, because I know they're going to have that repeat money to keep purchasing. Likewise, let's say you're doing something for students, maybe you offer them some sort of payment plan, and you're talking more about that in your messaging, because you go, okay, I have this payment plan thing. If someone is a wealthy person, I'm not going to offer it to them because it's not a unique selling point. But if someone's a student who doesn't have much money, or maybe they get money in small amounts monthly, so they won't have it in one period, but my product's a higher price point, I can tell them that, we have payment plans and this is how much you pay a month, and maybe that will make them seal the deal and buy it there and then. So that's why that's important. And then finally, education level. This is not about me saying, okay, corporate professionals would have to be someone that went to university. It's just me obviously creating enough demographics that if anyone looked at this or myself looked at this, I can create my own mental picture of who this person is in my interpretation, okay? So education level, yes, you could have gone to university and become a corporate professional, or you could have not gone to university and still become a corporate professional. It's irrelevant. It's just me knowing that, okay, if I use certain language, I can use more formal or I can use more complicated words than someone who maybe was educated to a lower level. But obviously, it doesn't really matter what their education path was. It's so I can go, right, if someone was educated at university, what do I imagine them to have? You know, they might not have it, they might not have it even if they went to university, but it's allowing me to create that picture. And yeah, this is who I am thinking of in my head. And then the frustrations and fears, so can't fall asleep, waking up early and tired, low energy, poor mood, can't focus at work. So what are the problems they're facing? Just kind of high level broad. And what are their aspirations? So these don't need to be directly related to to the frustrations, but combat insomnia, calm their mind at night, wake up refreshed, more energy, less tiredness. So again, these are all very high level. There's going to be more wants, there's going to be more frustrations. We want to just get the main big groupings, and then when we actually create certain assets, we can make things that stem off from them. And then the key purchase drivers, this is what sets me aside from other products and other brands. Why specifically would they buy from me and buy my product? So if we look at something like Coca-Cola or lemonade, they both solve the same problem, but why would someone choose Coca-Cola over lemonade? Well, maybe it's the fact that it's the taste, maybe it's the fact that you can mix it with this thing and it tastes that way, it doesn't disrupt the flavor as much, whatever it is, that allows you to go, okay, I want to buy lemonade rather than buy Coca-Cola. And likewise, if it's two different companies, it's like, well, why would I buy Coca-Cola from, you know, normal Coca-Cola from some like cheap knockoff? Why would I choose between the brands? Well, Coca-Cola is long established. We know it's a good brand. You're familiar with the taste. You know what you're going to get. Whatever, it's got like a nice bottle. That's why you choose that brand over choosing the cheaper brand. But like vice versa, you might go, well, this other brand is cheaper. It tastes the same and it's going to solve the same thing. I'm going to go for that other brand because it's cheaper. So what are your key purchase drivers? Well, on mine, we have scientifically proven ingredients. So there's lots of people selling sleep supplements, but do they have things that are all scientifically proven as individual ingredients? Well, we do. That's what we're going to push on. Or even if they do, if they don't know that that's a key purchase driver, they're not pushing on it. So we're going to push on it. We know that for corporate professionals, they want something that's actually going to work. They're educated, you know, that will be a thing that's relevant to them. UK made. Again, high level, and then people who are doing the creative process can stem off of that. So it's in the UK made. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means it's faster delivery. That means we have a certain perception of quality. We know that the ingredients are all going to be approved for use in the UK. There's not going to be anything nasty in it because there is those, like I said, the quality and quality testing measures, quality assurance. Like that's what UK made connotations are. But if I give the high level USP, the creative people can think what that means in their copy and their creative. Affordable for daily use. And then we're going to position ourselves as an authority. So people come to my page, they're getting content, blogs, they're getting social media posts that are educational. We want to go, okay, corporate professionals are busy. They don't want to have to spend a lot of time doing their own research, trying to understand everything to do with sleep. They want to just know, okay, this brand knows about sleep. I trust that whatever they've put in the product is the best thing for my situation, okay? So that's all the main top things. And then what we do with that is like in the back of your head is we create before and after states where you have a before state and then you have a bridge to the after state. Whatever way you prefer to do that around is up to you and up to what stage you're at. You know, you might have created your product with the end in mind and it's easier for you to go to the before state. But also you might be thinking of problems and then you create a product and you know more about the before state and you're trying to think, what does my product do to provide that after state? So what do they have? That can be physical things they have, or like, you know, just like a lifestyle. Put it in a sentence. They have, and they allow you to create anything, but they have chamomile tea, they have multiple supplements, they have poor sleep and traveling, they have insomnia, and they have a coffee reliance. After state, what do they have? Well, they don't need the chamomile tea, the multiple supplements, they now have an all-in-one supplement. They have a compact supplement to take when they're traveling. So they don't need to worry about their hand luggage. It's like they've got this one thing, they don't need to take any big boxes and they still get the good sleep. And they can sleep faster and longer. And coffee now becomes a treat, it's not a crutch, because people may have lost the enjoyment of coffee because they're using it just to feel not tired, but now they can have it as something that is a treat. You don't need to have it every day just to feel tired. It doesn't become a routine. It's something you like and you enjoy. What are they feeling? So before they were feeling stressed and anxious, they were feeling tired with low energy, they were feeling depressed, and they were feeling poor focus. So we're tapping into the emotions here. Emotions are great in copy, so we want to map out what are the actual emotions of our particular avatar so the copy can speak correctly with them. They're now after state, feeling calm and confident, they're feeling alert and energized, they're feeling happy, they're feeling focused and productive. All things that our product has allowed them to feel, whether in a short period of time or in a long period of time, doesn't matter, this is the states. And then what's an average day like for them? Well, this here is not about me trying to give, you know, the one day. Of course, there's going to be hundreds of different types of days you could have. Like I said earlier, it's to allow whoever's reading it, whether it's me, whether it's someone else, to instantly be able to create that picture of who the person is. So when you're going through your creative process, you can start to put down on paper things that would relate to this person, because you can know who this person is. Okay, so wake up early, drowsy, they have their morning coffee, they then go to work, they have some more coffee before the gym, and then they watch Netflix and they try to get to sleep. So I've not gone into any detail there because people can read between the lines when they look at the after state. It's like, how's the change? Okay, they wake up early and alert, they're having an enjoyable coffee and a chat with colleagues, they're going to work, they're having a protein shake now before the gym, they're reading a book, they're asleep. So I've not explained what all those things are, but people can go, right, so they're no longer watching Netflix, I'm not hitting on Netflix, but we're just having connotations of reading a book being better. You know, you're getting education, you're relaxing, which is winding you down for sleep. You're not trying to just stay awake with the blue light of a TV. Watching Netflix, you're able to focus and read a book. So we're saying those different states. You're having the healthy protein shake before the gym. Doesn't really matter. I'm just giving the connotation that rather than having this coffee that you need for energy, you're now doing something different that's benefiting your muscles, whatever it is. You're just trying to map out what their day would look like to show that the product makes a difference to their actual day, and then people can get creative on that. And then finally, what is their status? Well, before they were Mr. and Mrs. Grumpy in the morning, they were unhealthy and worn out looking, they were rude, and they were unreliable to focus. So their status is really what is people's perception of them. So what would someone be thinking of them? That's what we're getting to with status. So after state, they're now a likable person in the morning, they're attractive and glowing, they're attentive and focused. And people who are creating the copy, or myself, I can then take those things and go, right, now let's be creative with this and read between the lines, expand on these points, but I have a clear idea of who this person is, and you know, this status is obviously being caused by the things up here, by the frustrations and fears. So yeah, that's really it. The final thing I do is I add the core hooks. So I always use 3, and of course you might have more and more hooks. There's so many different hooks you could try, but I have 3 core ones that I think summarize this particular avatar. Why are they, how are they suffering, essentially? So The hooks here is trouble falling asleep, can't switch off at night, very relevant to a corporate professional because they're high functioning, they have an important role, they have meetings and stuff maybe, they have a busy schedule, like that's really relevant to them. They won't be able to switch off, they're thinking about the next day. Low energy, coffee reliant. Again, might not be relevant to everyone, but corporate professional, there's a high chance a lot of them drink coffee and they use coffee as a way of having more energy, having more focus. So, and we want to tap into that low energy, coffee reliant. And then when I come to actually write my hooks, I can put them into those three kind of broad categories and the actual messaging will relate back to that. So you can see here, it's really not that hard. There's not too many things. This is very, very summarized, but you got to remember this all comes back from research. So you do the research and you try and condense it so that anyone else can consume that content in a short period of time, get a visual mental picture of who that person is, and then their own opinion can help them be creative, but at least you're talking about the same person, okay? So yes, I hope that is beneficial. I hope it makes sense. Like I said, I'll leave a link to this template in the notes. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment. And if it's something I can answer, I'll try and answer it. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in a video very, very soon.